Hi kids, how are you this week? I hope all is well and you've enjoyed this beautiful weather we're having. Spring is finally here and it feels wonderful. I hope you've gotten out and had a lot of fun out in the beautiful weather. I also hope you enjoyed last week's story and that you'll continue with this story. Did you try the planting? Some of mine are starting to sprout already. Anyway, let's get on with our story. So, to continue with our story about Jesus, this week, Jesus is moving on from having risen Lazarus, and he's heading towards Jerusalem. So let's continue with the story, shall we? The Feast of Passover was approaching. Jesus led the disciples on the long uphill route towards Jerusalem. Can you see Jesus leading the disciples up the road to Jerusalem? It's definitely going uphill. Can you tell? When they came to Bethphage and Bethany on the Mount of Olives, Jesus spoke to two of his disciples, and he said, "Go to the village ahead, and just as you enter, you will find a colt, which is the foal of a donkey, tied there. No one has ever ridden it before." So he's telling them that he wants them to go get this donkey foal, this little colt. If anyone asks you what you are doing, tell them the Lord needs it and will return it. The two disciples set off immediately. So here they go. They're going to go get that little donkey for Jesus. And they're going to tell whoever, if they see anybody, that the Lord needs it. Do you think they're going to see anyone? We'll find out. They found the young donkey outside in the street, tied to a doorway, and started to untie it. As they did so, the colt's owner said, "What are you doing untying that colt?" I'd be surprised if I owned that little colt, wouldn't you? "The Lord needs this colt and will send it back shortly," they replied. The owner let them borrow the donkey. Now, if you owned that donkey, would you let them? I think you would. The two disciples led the colt back to where Jesus was. They threw their coats on the young donkey, and then Jesus sat on it. So there are their coats, and Jesus is sitting on that young donkey. Many people spread their cloaks or palm branches on the ground for Jesus to ride over, while others waved palm leaves. There's Jesus on that donkey, and there's the coat. And look at all the people, how happy they are to see Jesus on that donkey. as he rides in towards Jerusalem for Passover. The people ran ahead of Jesus shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David." Hosanna means, blessed is he who comes in the... Others shouted, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." Hosanna means save. Really? Look at how happy they are. Many of them shouted, "Hosanna in the highest." Some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell your disciples to stop shouting." Now, in the past few weeks, we've talked about these Pharisees trying to trick Jesus. So now they're telling him to tell his disciples to stop shouting. And Jesus said, "I tell you, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out." I wonder what Jesus means by that. If they keep quiet, the stones will cry out. So, we have a nice young donkey and people yelling and throwing palms down on the street so that the donkey could walk over the palms, and people throwing their cloaks down so that the donkey can walk on the cloaks or the palms. And why are they doing that? And they're shouting and they're happy. And we saw how all of them in these pictures are so joyful. Look at those pictures. They're all joyful. And what does this mean for us? So for us, in today's world, it's a celebration for us for Sundays, for this Sunday, as Palm Sunday. That's how we remember this day, as the beginning of Holy Week, where we start the week off very celebratory as Jesus goes into Jerusalem to celebrate Passover, and then it gets very solemn because we know that on Good Friday what's going to happen. But on this day, Jesus rode into Jerusalem on that donkey, and everyone is happy, and they're waving palms and they're throwing cloaks down, and they did all of this in respect for Jesus. There weren't any paved streets, so if there was a little bit of mud and a respected person was coming by, they would throw a cloak or their coat down on the ground for that person to walk over so they wouldn't get their feet wet and muddy. And that's what they were doing to show respect for Jesus, and throwing the branches down so that the donkey, which was carrying Jesus, would not be all muddied up. So this is like I said, the beginning of Holy Week. And for us, we're going to remember this part of the story with palms. And that's what we do on Palm Sunday. We give out palms and we remember that celebration as we go into a solemn week of preparing for the even bigger celebration of Easter. So I have a couple of crafts for you to remember this story of Jesus' entry into Jerusalem on the donkey. And I hope that you're going to like them. So the first craft is to cut out palm leaves. So I have some palm leaves. I have a template of palm leaves. This is the template that I'm going to send, and there are 4 different types of palms that I'm sending. Here's my cutout, and I've already got them strewn on my street. So actually, let me show you the whole street and what I have made. So there's the street. Whoops. Can you see the street? So I used a box top as my street, and I put my palm leaves down on the street, and here's my donkey. And I thought you guys would get a kick out of making this donkey. So I'm going to send you the instructions on how to make that donkey. But for those of you that don't really want to make that donkey, I have a paper donkey you can make. You can see right down here, this is the little donkey, and you put all these pieces together and make the donkey. But anyway, so here is what I have. You take 2 pine cones and a pipe cleaner and pieces of 2 cutout pieces of for ears of I used index cards, and then just 4 little sticks for feet. So here's my sticks. And then I wrap the pipe cleaner around the front of the big pine cone and the back of the little pine cone, so it makes the head and neck of the donkey. And then you just assemble it. It's really kind of fun and kind of easy. Get a little bit of yarn or thread. I had thread, but if you have yarn, probably make a better tail and mane. So I made his mane and his tail, and there you go. It's really kind of easy, but it was a lot of fun. I hope you have fun with it. And put him on the street. There's the street Street of Palms that he entered Jerusalem. And I hope you enjoy it. It was a fun craft to figure out, and I hope you have fun putting it together. Pine cones are real easy to find. I'm sure you've got them in your neighborhood. Some people even have them left over from Christmas in, craft boxes. My neighborhood has pine cones everywhere, so it was very easy for me to find these. And this time of the year, we've had a lot of windstorms, so it was real easy to find a couple of sticks in the yard that I could cut down, and they're only, little pieces of sticks that you just put into the pine cone to make his legs. So it was real easy. Anyway, I hope you have fun with this, and I hope you enjoyed that story and about Palm Sunday. And I hope you have a wonderful week as we get into Holy Week. So until we meet again, God bless, stay safe and well, and enjoy.